In the almighty words of Robert Cabral, if you don't have the tool, you can't train the dog. By virtue of his own words, if I take away your tools, if I take away your prongs, your recolors, and everything else, all your treats, if I take away Zach's treats, you're all frauds. And that's what you're exposed as. Because without your tools, you're nothing. You couldn't train a dog to save your life. You're nothing more than frauds. What they're calling positive reinforcement trainers is a lie. Positive reinforcement isn't a tool that you pull out of a bag. It's not a treat. Positive reinforcement is all about the animal's desires. And part of that desire is the desire to stay safe. And how do you stay safe? Guess what? You fight and flight. That's the reality. What are these trainers in reality? What is Zach George but a primary inducement trainer? He's not a positive reinforcement trainer. He wouldn't even define the word positive reinforcement, let alone the word behavior. Go ask him to define it. But yet he blames Skinner. What Zach George is selling as positive reinforcement is actually Conrad Most primary inducements. And what is a primary inducement? What is an inducement? You're trying to get the dog to do something for you, and you're bribing the dog with a piece of food or affection. That's primary inducement. And go look it up. I highly urge people to read Conrad Most book, Training Dogs, because that is the very basis for everything you know about dog training today. There's a reason why IGP trainers are barking about behavior. Because IGP, all dog training is a scam created by IGP. IGP dog training. What is IGP? Most people have never heard of it. It's formerly known as Schutzhund. And what is Schutzhund but the sport of tracking, obedience, and protection? When you're teaching your dog obedience, you're literally trying to use IGP to train your dog. And obedience has no place in behavior. All I ever hear from dog owners, he's a great dog, but he's a wonderful dog, but. And that but is always followed by bad behaviors. Funny, isn't it? Number one question I ask for dog owners. What do you want from your dog? Not once has the response ever been a trained dog. But yet that's all there is. Train a dog. Hire a trainer because you can't do it on your own. You're hiring primary inducement trainers. What are they? You have real quadrants of dog training under Conrad Most? Inducements and compulsions. Primary and secondary inducements. Primary and secondary compulsive inducements. There's a reason why balanced training is also known as compulsion-based dog training, because it is compulsive-based dog training. Nothing to do with Skinner. It's all Conrad Most. Why are they blaming Skinner? Because they know damn well dog owners won't follow up. Dog trainers are lying to you. Dog training is a scam created by IGP dog training. People like Robert Cabral, Ivan Manavlov, Hans Othman, Larry Crone, and Larry Crone even admits what they've done over the last 20 years. Larry Crone admitted on Facebook to manipulation of pet dog trainers to see the genius of IGP. Just use our tools, our treats, our freaking prongs, e-collars, crates, muzzles. Use all the tools of IGP just to shut down behavior. Yep. Robert Cabral calls the entire dog training industry the pet care conglomerate. Now vets are on board. 20 years ago, IGP trainers got out of their lane. Why? Because there's no money in IGP. IGP is dying. IGP has never been a big thing in North America. So they got into the behavior ring because that's where the money is. And they've been pushing their treats and prongs and e-collars and fucking crates and muzzles and everything else ever since, for the last 20 years. Dog training, as you know, is a scam created by IGP. Dog trainers. That's it. It's a $100 billion industry right now. 20 years ago, IGP got out of their lane, jumping with both feet to the behavior ring. Well, 5-10 years ago, vets did the same thing. Why are vets in the behavior ring? But they're all pushing the same garbage. Robert Cabral is selling t-shirts saying that science doesn't belong in dog training. There's a reason for that, because there is no science to dog training. He calls people like me a cult. Why? Because I'm actually pushing the science of B.F. Skinner, the very man he'll sit on camera and blame for the quadrants of dog training. Ivan Manavlov. You can see him. You can watch him yourself. He sits there blaming B.F. Skinner for the quadrants of dog training. He created the quadrants of dog training, but yet he states in the same video that it wasn't even a moral issue for Skinner. Skinner openly opposed punishment. So, Ivan, where did the punishment quadrants come from? According to your own words, Skinner opposed punishment, but yet you're blaming him for the punishment quadrants. Positive reinforcement is quite simple as your desires for the good things in life and the desire to be safe. And your desire to be safe causes you to fight and flight. That's positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement isn't all positive. There's a huge dark side to positive reinforcement. Negative reinforcement isn't all bad. There's a huge bright side to negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcements, once you understand negative reinforcements, guess what? Negative reinforcements keep you from doing stupid things. It keeps you safe. If you walk into a store and buy a scratch ticket and win $10,000, that's a positive consequence. Guess what? Positive consequences, people want to keep repeating them. So you're going to keep ponying up. And when those consequences all of a sudden add up to a positive reinforcement, now you're a gambler. But oh yeah, positive reinforcement is all positive. Oh no, it's not. Far from it. Dog trainers are selling you a lie. They are actually primary inducement trainers under Conrad Most, but they're blaming B.F. Skinner because they know damn well that you will not sit down and read Skinner. So they get away with it. I'm trying to give you Skinner. I'm trying to give you the real science. The science that doesn't belong in dog training. This is actual radical behaviorism. What dog trainers are pushing is methodological behaviorism. And it essentially metaphorically cuts the head off the dog. They don't give a shit about the emotions or the instincts and everything else. They're focused on behavior. Shut down behaviors. That's it. That's all they want to do, shut down behaviors. Positive reinforcement to balance to IGP, everything in between. Shut down the behaviors, stop the behaviors. You're suppressing your dog's behaviors. And if you're trying to suppress your dog's aggression, guess what? That's not only dangerous, but that's stupid. That's a lot of liability to throw on a dog owner's shoulders. And dog owners are scared. Dog trainers are making you scared. They need you scared. They need you trauma bonded to your dog so they can prey on that trauma bond and that fear mercilessly. That's why we always hear, hire a trainer because you can't do it on your own. And I've spoken to dog owners that are $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 deep in dog training. And guess what? Their life has been destroyed. They're locked up at home. They got nobody. They're isolated alone at home with their dog. And they don't want to kill their dog, but yet that's all they ever heard was a string of trainers saying, kill your dog. At what point did dog trainers take it upon themselves to become the experts in behavioral euthanasia? At what point did the dog trainers take it as their job to tell dog owners to kill their dog? And once you understand what a behavior is, guess what? Behavioral euthanasia is not even an option. There's a reason why these fuckers will not define the word behavior. You go ask any trainers to sit down and define the word behavior and explain it to you in a way that makes sense. They can't do it. They won't do it because it's not convenient to their pocketbook. Once you understand what a behavior is, then you realize you're the only one who can fix it. They keep telling you to hire a trainer because you can't do it on your own, but yet you're the only one who can. They expect you to watch a 10-minute video, 20-minute video, and try to achieve what they're doing online. And it's unachievable. You're only seeing a 10, 20-minute clip of what they're doing. You're not seeing all the shit that goes on in the background when the cameras aren't on. But Dog Daddy is actually putting all the friggin' abuse live on camera. He's stringing up dogs by a neck with a friggin' prong collar. He's damaging these dogs' necks. That's what he puts on camera. I can only imagine what Dog Daddy does when the cameras aren't on. Okay? Understand that. You're trying to achieve what's unachievable. And again, in Robert Cabral's own words, if you haven't got the tool, you can't train the dog. If I take away Dog Daddy's without prong collar, what use is he? If I take Zach George's treats away, he's a fraud. If I take Robert Cabral's or Ivan Manavilov's tools away from them, they're nothing more than frauds. That's the reality. Everybody made a big stink of it, big study that Ivan Manavilov was mentioned in. Positive reinforcement versus friggin' balanced, or using the e-collars and whatnot to shock dogs. There was only one thing in that entire study that interests me. The fact that down at the very bottom they said that these tools should only be in the hands of experts. So what are they doing in pet stores? Why is any Tom, Dick, and Harry able to go to a pet store and buy these things when, according to the study itself, only the professionals should be using it? It should only be in professionals' hands, but yet anybody can go out and buy one. People need to stop and think, man, you're being sold on the river, and a fool and their money is soon parted. In Mark Twain's own words, it's much easier to fool somebody than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, you've been fucking fooled. You've been sold down the river for money. And there's a $100 billion industry that you're paying into. That's the reality. Have a good day.